All right, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy. Oh, sorry. Oh, you know, okay. So I'm glad I started the video out like that because for a lot of you that don't know, I originally had this alter ego, right? And we're gonna get to that today. But I had an intro with all my YouTube videos that I either deleted or just never got posted. And it was always the same thing. It'll be this right here. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Michael Kang, and I'm back with another video. And I have been trying so hard to change that because that ain't even where I'm trying to go. You know what I'm saying? But that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about today in the video. Changing for the better. And I think that's changing is something that a lot of us need to do, don't want to do, and don't know how to do. So I want to touch on those three things today from my perspective and from my life, so that you can understand maybe what that even means or why you may want to make a change. Some people may be feeling lost, you know what I'm saying? And I was one of those people, so I feel like it's best for me to try to talk about it. So yeah, let's talk about it. I'm sitting here, I was making some notes because I was just thinking about what I wanted to talk about, and the idea of changing for the better just popped up. And one thing I want to establish with the coach's therapy is that it's not going to be as scripted as what it may come out to be. I taught myself video production, and a lot of people do things that's scripted. And pretty much what a script is, or what scripting is you're doing something for so long because you manufactured it to be this one thing that you're going to stick with. You learn a script, you remember a script, you stick to the script, right? You constantly are doing something for a good amount of time. And what's funny is when you have to get another script, or you got to go off script and you got to make some changes. I think that's when it's kind of like, like you don't want to do it, And I know for me, I had a big chance to flip the script, change the script, go away from the script a lot of different times in my life, and I promise I didn't do it. Let's take it back to the Michael Caine part. For a lot of people that either grew up, seeing me, knew me, from Jackson, Mississippi. That's where I'm from. That's why I still am today. Maybe not for long, you know what I'm saying? But that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at today. Growing up here, you end up sticking to a script. Or either you see like people around you that stick to the script, like they do the same stuff every day, or they live their lives a certain way all the time. And that could be from your mama, your daddy, auntie, grandmama, big mama, your cousins, the junkie that's up the street from you, the dope boy that's around the corner from you, Lakia and them that stay, over there by Bo Ridge, or your coworkers that you kind of don't know, but you kind of don't care to know. Like all of us have a certain script that we were raised with and we, came up with. So the point of what I'm making with that is, for me, I always seen things a certain way, and I didn't think I needed to change until I needed to make changes. This podcast, vodcast, whichever one you want to call it, is something that I had to do to make a change. And I'm saying I had because I realized that, you don't want to just limit yourself to one thing. That's just like you're a basketball player. I play basketball, I play football too. And I was always playing a big man role, specifically a power forward. but that was just because I was a big dude, you know. But the funny thing is, I always had a really great shot. So if anybody want to come test that shot, you know what I'm talking about, we can get out there and do what we got to do. But I always had a great jump shot. And so what's crazy is that I had to learn how to play around the box, because a lot of guys was actually bigger than me. You know, I'm just 6'2", so I'm actually a point guard, really like a shooting guard for real. But you know, I'm only 6'2", so I'm going up against guys who was like 6'5", and you know, they like even bigger than that, especially down in the paint. You know what I'm saying? The crazy thing was, I had to learn how to get outside the box and stop playing in the box. You know, preferably coming up, I had a play where basically I would get a pick coming from the top of the wing, almost like a motion. Shout out to Jimmy High School. It was kind of like motion, and instead of me cutting to the wing, I was going up to the box by the free throw line, and that turnaround free throw, that was my bread and butter. And it took me developing my shot, but also it took me to think away from what I was used to, trying to get a rebound, trying to go back up with it, right? Doing the same thing. That ain't working, but I'm still trying to do it, you know? And I noticed there's a lot of other things in my life that was going on that I kept trying to do in the same place, trying to still score. Sometimes I would score when I'm down here, but I mean, that's like, you know what I'm saying, like 6 or 10. You know what I'm saying? That's just because I was good at it. Sometimes we can get real good at being in the same spot, and we think that we good there. No, like it's more. You know what I'm saying? Like it's more that you could do. And that's how I related all that to basketball, because like if it wasn't for me developing a new skill and mastering that skill, and then moving, like actually moving around to see where I was more effective at, like I would have never known. And so that's how I feel change is, you know, in life for real. Like I feel like if you don't find yourself trying to make those changes and moving around, you'll never know where your potential truly can like explode at. You know, you're just gonna be a master of your limitations. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't scripted. That's real talk. So, yeah, that's real talk. So I want to take this back to what I was talking about with my intro. So, a lot of people has known me. Well, a lot of people have known me as Big Mike or Kang, or what else folks call me, AK, all of that, right? And those was like nicknames I got from high school, middle school. If you're from the addition, you know I was Mike, like off Shirley or Everett, you feel me, like, or and then when it came around, that was an alter ego I created, where basically I went to school, and this young lady was like, she was like, you always wear suits, and the only reason why, and this, I never told this story before, but I'm gonna tell it. So the reason that I got that name Kane, or when people call me AK, when they used to see my pictures and stuff, that name came from this young lady, like, Shawty was like, hey, why you always wearing suits? And I always wore suits when I was younger, because at the time I was working, my first job was at a place called City Thrift, and I was getting like a bunch of clothes from the thrift store, because, you know what I'm saying, we couldn't really afford like no, you know what I'm saying, like real, like, you know, stuff. You know, you had your polo shirt here and there, you know what I'm saying, your Forces, like that was me, like coming up with polo, Forces, khaki, like, you know. Anyway, Shawty was like, you must think you a king or something, because you got these suits on, you know. And I'm just like, shit, I'm that nigga, you know what I'm talking about? But what's funny was that in that time when she said, you must think you a king, I really did feel like I was a king. I always felt like I was like, you know, like a golden child, you know what I'm saying? But it was the fact that she said that, and it stuck with me, and that's where Kane came from, because we from the South, we speak in Ebonics. So I said, like, you know what, she just gave me that name. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna turn it into something, you know, and that's pretty much where Kane came from. So I remember specifically taking that, and I rocked with it. Like, I created a Kane's vision, which was my vision on how, you know, I perceive certain things, whether that was ideas and conversations, kind of like what I'm doing right now, whether that was photography, which is what I was, you know, people, how they knew me from, and video, you know what I'm saying, which is something else that I'm doing right now. So, I mean, it's all kind of like, you know, correlated together. And I didn't realize that I was creating this alter ego. I just didn't realize how much it was easing a lot of insecurities, and it was masking, you know. It was really masking some stuff, and I'm gonna tell y'all how. Cause it's like I couldn't make it with just being Michael Mitchell. Like, I couldn't do it. I had to become something else to feel accepted, to feel me, like to feel like that man. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because now that I think back on it, I didn't even realize that that's what I was doing, but that's what I was doing. And I think a lot of us do that. You know, like so a lot of us have identity issues, and what we end up doing is we'll take our Instagram name and that become our fame. Like, that become what we attach everything that we're about to that one name. You know what I'm saying? And really and truly, like, that ain't even you for real. That's just that's your handle. You trying to play on this name to really be accepted in so many different ways, or really to like change yourself into something. And that ain't really you. And that's what I was doing. You know, I was changing myself, and it was a business move, of course, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I realized how far it was pushing me away from who I really was. Yeah, and you know, it's deep, but when you really think about it, a lot of that is lied in identity issues, and, you know, confidence and self-esteem, and, you know, low self-esteem, low confidence, I should say. And you have to, you know, it gets to a point where you can become so much of who this thing is that you forget yourself, and that's pretty much what I ended up doing, like I said. So, when it started hitting me on what I needed to do to get back to the old me, the original me, who I originally was, it was a couple things that happened, and, you know, it really showed me a lot in my life, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna talk about 2 times, and these are not like the biggest things, but these are 2 times where things changed in my life, that made me really take account of like the change that I had to make and I needed to make, right? All right, so I started photography in 2015. Was a hobby. Then I got into it like with some people, and, you know, I became like a studio photographer. Like, I was going to any studio you can think of. I was moving around with a whole bunch of people doing a lot of stuff I either had no business doing, or I, you know, don't even want to talk about doing. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? But anyway, so I locked in with a lot of different artists in the city, right? Shout out to Mohead Mike. Love you, cuz. Shout out to my boy N200. Rest in peace, Lil Didi. Let me see who else. Shout out Lil C. Man, I'm trying to think. Rest in peace, Lil Lonnie. None. Man, I'm forgetting some people. I'm trying to make sure I remember everybody, because I don't, you know what I'm saying? I like showing love. But that's not neither here nor there. But shout out to all them folk. But anyway, it got to a point where I got so big that a lot of people, you know, really and truly was just like pushing my name. It was really pushing me in the city. And I remember Lonnie had got in touch with me, and he wanted me to shoot something. Shout out Millie Montana, because him and Millie was in it. So Millie wanted me at the studio or whatever. So we boom, work with them. They love how I did my thing. Lonnie was taking a liking to me, so we ended up going on the road. Went on the road, got bammed up. And only people that know about this is folks that was there, but we got bammed up on the road. It was crazy, like, and I remember I ended up, you know what I'm saying, having to like just work my way. Everybody worked our way back to the city. And what was crazy was that London was like, he called me probably like a few days after that, because it was like a Saturday. He called me and he was just like, hey, big bro, you know what I'm saying? I love how you know, held everything down, woo doo doo. He was like, you know what I'm saying? I really want you to be my main photographer. Like, and this coming from somebody who, you know what I'm saying? Like, this the biggest dude in the city. Like, like, this Lonnie. And he was just like, you know, we're gonna get up, you know, this week. Woo doo doo woo. I think that Thursday, I can't remember what day, but I remember went out to Clinton. I was out there with some of my people, and I heard he got killed. And it crushed me, because it was almost like my window had closed, you know. And as a up and coming like artist, because this was my artistry, it was like, dang, bro, like I done built this whole character, and all of what I built felt like it was gone. And it's crazy, because sometimes we'll put so much into this one thing. I put so much into this name that it seemed as if my ticket left only because of a nigga death. And I really felt like, and after that point, it was a lot of stuff going on too, like a lot of beefs, a lot of blackballing. Like, it was crazy. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But I put a lot of that into, you know, my business, and it went away. And I felt like, dang, bro, like, what am I gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, after that, like, the city was just crazy. Like, it was a lot of just beef going on. Like, and my whole identity as a photographer was that. So when that world like started crumbling, I did, and I got lost, not just behind, you know, London passing, but I got lost behind, like, just because I didn't have anything else to solidify me. It was like my run that I was making just went bankrupt, you know what I'm saying? So I had to make a change after that to realize that, okay, boom, like, this happened, it slowed things down, but it didn't kill nothing, you know what I'm saying? And then another time where things changed, where I had to make a change, was when my daughter was born. So a lot of you that don't know, new listeners or whoever, I got a 2-year-old daughter. She's actually about to be 3 now. Her name is Nova. Hey, Nova girl. You see, Daddy trying to make, you know what I'm saying? Daddy trying to make that money, girl. You know what I'm talking about? Oh man, I believe when she gets older and starts seeing like how all of this has been transpiring, I just can only imagine how her face is gonna be, boy. But anyway, long story short, when Nova was born, it was an instant change. It was crazy because, like, at the time, I didn't know how to even think, because I was having a child. I didn't even realize, like it didn't even strike me either that, you know, it's really a difference having a boy and a girl, you know what I'm saying, being a man. Like, when you got a son, you know what I'm saying, like, you gonna make changes for your son, but you want your son to be like you know. And I've seen that with a lot of my homeboys that got, you know, little boys and whatever. But when you a man, a young man at that, and you got a daughter, your daughter makes you into a man. Like just her presence alone gonna make you want to be more of a man and learn how to be one in a corrective fashion. You know what I'm saying? That way, when you have a son, you able to like teach him how to be one. You dig what I'm saying? But anyway, watching her just grow up has taught me so much just about patience, holding your word, being a man of accountability. You know what I'm saying? What else? How you view women. You know, if you was a player, you know, way back when, and you trying to get away from that, you gonna think about it when when your daughter gets older, and you don't feel like nobody's better for her than you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, stuff like that. Those three things that I brought up were things that I knew I needed to improve and change, or at least work on. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's kind of like I looked at my career, and I'm summarizing all of this, but I looked at where my career was going then, and then I looked at how life changed for me to go from a young man to being a young father. And I looked at both of those and I weighed them up, and I said, you know what? Like, I'm 26 at the time. I was thinking about all of this. It was like 24, 23, and I'm just like really like 21. But I was just thinking like, dang, bro, like I don't live for me no more. And a lot of these things that I'm about to get into in life are going to come from me making changes to make better of my circumstances, because I'm going to become better as a person. So a lot of what you have and then learn, those scripts that you got from when you were younger, a lot of that has to change, you know what I'm saying? And that's what it did for me. And so, yeah, like those things, you know, I went through caused me to really like look at life differently. And so that's how I do now. And so, yeah. And that's the whole purpose of the coach's therapy. Because not only do I go through these type of things, but you guys do too. It's probably somebody that's on the other side of this screen, on the other side of this camera, that is going through these things, and you're trying to figure out like how to even express it. See, that's the first thing, and I'm gonna kill it with this. The first thing is that a lot of us don't really understand what we're going through, so we don't even know how to express it. And a lot of times when we keep it in, that makes it worse. But if I can sit and I can hear somebody talk about what they done been through, and 1, 2, or 3 things that they say I can relate to, it makes me more sure that, okay, like, he can feel me. Like, the relatability is like everything, you know what I'm saying? And conversation rule the nation. So you hear me? Like, you gotta be able to make those changes in such a positive way. And that's why, you know, I feel like this is something that I needed to do, and not just for me, but for you. So I'm gonna kill it on that end. You know, I'm trying to find my best format and way to, you know what I'm saying, drop these videos. But I really do, you know, want to ask everybody to continue to keep your head up and just focus on the changes in your life that you need to make, that you feel are critical for you to make. Because a lot of stuff cannot be achieved if we do everything in the same way. You know what I'm saying? And doing things the same way, expecting a different result, is insanity. I swear ain't none of this scripted, and I ain't even preaching nothing like that, but I'm just saying, like, that's real deal Holyfield. So I appreciate you guys listening. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna kill it with that right there. It's gonna be the end of it. Subscribe, guys. I really want to create a community with Coach's Therapy. I really do. And before I do anything, I always pray before any podcast. Anytime the camera rolls, okay, I try my best to make sure that not only do we have a conversation, but that we keep God involved in it too. So yeah. So hey, you guys have a blessed day, man. I hope you guys are all right too. If you got a feeling or something you want to say in the comments, I'm the type, I'm gonna comment back. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether it's, you know, good, bad, or ugly. But if it's ugly, I might not even respond. Ain't no point in me getting ugly. So I appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one.